Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Checking in on the market late night technical analysis. So the bulls are still in control with a clear daily uptrend still intact. We're looking to see, is this our high or low? If it is, it certainly favors the bulls to be looking to all-time highs. After a very brief healthy consolidation, 290.35 was the level to hold. Again, we have to change the hourly trend, and you could consider that we have really in two different ways. You could say that the hourly time frame pre-market set a little higher low and higher high, or at the end of the day, we had a little bull flag, very brief consolidation and continuation. Bottom line is it's a very significant move. If you want to be more convinced, the 4-hour time frame needing a trend change could be your guideline. A 4-hour higher low and higher high would have us looking at the all-time high. And I would certainly be surprised if the bulls were able to go straight to a new all-time high from this move. So there may be a day or two of consolidation mixed in there. And again, not convinced just yet that our daily higher low is established, but certainly looking good for the bulls overall. IWM, we have a real tight range. Let's look at it on the 4-hour time frame. And essentially what we're looking at is a double bottom of support of 154.26 and two key resistance levels, 158.03 and 156.84. The question is, can the bulls maintain this support and break our resistances, looking for continuation? And right now, with where we closed today, we're pretty much right in the middle of that range. So it's possible that we stay within this tight little range for another day or two and watch for a volume spike associated with the break of the range that we've been within for the last 5 days. QQQ, bull flag possibility, much more convincing on its bullish day in terms of getting well over the high of yesterday. So looking at the 4-hour time frame here, just comparing it to SPY, similar, but the bulls have more space to work with, and we are looking to try and confirm the all-time high. 191.68 is the all-time high in extended hours. It's 191.44 during regular trading, and we are about 80 cents away. So again, knocking on the door of all-time highs for the tech sector. The financial sector is healthy. We had a support level here at 27.71, holding that level, and the bulls are looking back at 28.27 as the next resistance level. And again, just looking for continuation. Difference is it won't be the all-time high, whereas for SPY and QQQ, it is that all-time high. So it will be the potential high of 2019 if the bulls are able to break that resistance. XLV, little bit of a different setup. So we had a higher high that was hit here, but just barely. You could consider that a double top. Still holding a higher low. You could call this a tightening range. I would call it a tightening range. Let's call that a double top. And we're looking for a higher low to be set. The bulls need to break 93.24 tomorrow to be convinced that our higher low is set at 92.62. And then again, looking at the high of 2019. Biotech sector had a solid day today. So we've had a little bit of a lower high, lower low in there. It's a little bit more choppy, a little bit less clear than the other sectors that we just looked at. But if we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that we're in a tightening range. Essentially what I'm looking at, longer term perspective, is going to be, let's see if it's better on the monthly, but the low of the December dump, the high of the bounce, we're still in a tightening range here. So we've got the high before the dump, low of the dump from December, lower high, higher low. Question is, are we setting a lower high compared to 93.87? And we won't be very convinced of that unless we see a clear confirmed downtrend. This is a little lower high and lower low, but I'm looking at these bigger, longer term levels that are clear pivot points of consolidation back into continuation. You could draw this trend line. If you like trend lines, that could help you a bit. But bottom line is I would need to see further pullback. Pretty much I need a break of 83.33 if I'm going to say our monthly lower high has been set and we're looking now back towards support. So it's worth being aware that the biotech sector is in a tightening monthly range, and we're going to expect a break in August or September and look for a spike in volatility. And again, biotech sector, if you're a day trader and you're looking for volatility, get familiar with XBI XLV, and then LABU and LABD. Because the volatility percentage-wise that LABU and LABD have on a daily basis is really great for, trading. Just be aware that there are outside factors, of course, especially with elections coming up. There are negative headlines for the biotech sector more often than not, so that's something to be aware of, and that's why I say day trading rather than swing trading. Looking at the VIX here, anything under 1670, again, I'm just looking at these clear lower highs. We're seeing a little bounce form, but we're looking for a lower high compared to 1670 and keeping an eye out for a clear daily trend change, but there's none in sight right now. And if we see a break of 14, then we'll say our lower high is set at 1470 and we'll be heading back down towards $12. Gold is still getting tight and the bulls are still struggling. And the bulls are struggling because the dollar is really strong the past 2 weeks. Let's look at the dollar real quick. Dollar is at a key resistance level, 97.77. If we can't break that level, we're going to look to pull back and form a higher low. And if we do break that level, again, it will be notable. The gold bulls really need to see a rejection here to try and form their daily higher low. And you can see we're just slowly fading down to this support. The 4-hour time frame is struggling to change the trend. Just clear little lower highs here as well. Have to see that 4-hour trend change in order for the daily higher low to clearly be established and for us to stay in this tightening range. And looking at the dollar, we need to see the dollar lose the 4-hour uptrend, which has been extremely strong for the last 2-3 days. So that's where we're keeping an eye on, the dollar and gold, and the bull miners holding on a bit better. Strong close at the high of the day today. In my opinion, that's due to market strength. Keep in mind these miner companies are traded on these exchanges, and these broader exchanges going up definitely has impact. So bull miners holding on better than gold. If we were the same as gold right now, NUGT would be down in the mid to low 24s and approaching that 24.14 support as gold is approaching 13.81 support. So bull miners a little bit stronger. Oil still has not formed a daily lower high yet. It looked like we were going to 2 days ago, but we have this base of support. This is the most important level for me on oil. It's 57.30 with multiple touches on that level and then a bull break. This was a clear tightening pattern, lower high, tightening range. There's our bull break. And now the question is, can we make our way back to 60.26? A recovery to 60.26 from here, from the size of the pullback, would be very notable and a good recovery for these bulls. So that's the most important resistance, and 57.30 is the most important support for me. Natural gas, daily higher low trying to form after a brief bull flag. Key resistance 2449 and 2478 to be tested. And if the bulls break that level, we'll confirm our daily bull flag and we'll get a bull cross of these 12 and 26 period exponential moving averages for the first time in a very long time. And we crossed bearish 7 months ago. And we've come real close to a couple bull crosses, but we have not seen them follow through. So that would be notable for me. Keep in mind, we have not followed through yet. But if the bulls can get over 250 in the next week, we're going to look at a clear bull break, bull cross of those moving averages. Keeping in mind that we're going to keep the longer term perspective on the weekly as the exponential resistance, which has rejected the price multiple times, is being tested, and we are still in a weekly downtrend. So just remember that in order to break 2688, we may have to pull back and form a weekly higher low, which would be an inverse head and shoulders pattern, just going from lower highs and lower lows to a higher low and then a higher high. So just aware of that longer term pattern, but more focused on the daily chart right now. And the current low of 237 is the level for the bulls to hold. So we'll see if the S&P 500 can continue marching its way towards all-time highs. We have Fed minutes tomorrow, I believe. Got to double check that, but I don't usually check the economic activity as much until pre-market, being a day trader and mostly cash. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Do good things.